Today we're doing an easy DIY board and batten accent wall. I wanted to try something different, but still keep it simple, easy to do, and budget friendly. This is part 2 of my 4-bedroom makeover. If you missed part 1, we gave this ugly dresser new life in under $100. I've put a link in the description so you can check it out after you've watched this video. Let's get started. First, I measured the height and width of the wall and did a sketch of the layout. That way I can figure out how many boards I needed. I used 1x3 boards in 8 feet lengths, which is the height of the wall. What's beautiful about a board and batten accent wall is it gives you the opportunity to lay it out in any way you like. Because of the shape of the headboard, I came up with a simple staggered box design around it. We headed over to Home Depot, and after sifting through several options, we opted for these gorgeous smooth poplar boards. I thought they were perfect and they would give a really nice finish. Not so fast. My daughter and I loaded up, headed to the cashier, only to realize the price shown was per foot and not per length. We took them right back. I was not about to spend upwards of $200 on this wall. We chose an unfinished pine, and although not as smooth a finish, I much prefer the $50 price tag. With that said, if it's in your budget to get a smoother board, do it. It'll save you lots of time having to spackle imperfections and sand where needed. MDF is also a good and affordable option. The day before installation, I primed all the boards using this Kills 2 all-purpose primer. After clearing the space, we went over the sketch and mapped out the layout one more time. To get started, we needed to cut all the vertical boards to accommodate for the baseboards. Whilst my husband made all the cuts, I went ahead and painted the walls and fixed a few holes where the TV had been hung prior. That was one of those things that was on the back burner for quite a while. We first installed the horizontal boards along the top of the wall, then continued with the vertical ones. Okay guys, we don't own an electric nail gun just yet. We used an old-fashioned hammer and nails with wall adhesive for additional reinforcement. This home was built in the 80s. Once we got to the other side of the wall, we realized just how crooked the wall actually was. We tried attaching it and there was too much of a gap for it to fasten securely. We then tried trading out different boards just to make sure it was the wall and not the board. Eventually, we just went with the one that had the least gap and could actually be attached. Later, I filled the gap with spackle and it was fine. We installed each vertical board 24 inches apart. As I measured after each one, I put a mark at the top, middle, and bottom. The vibration of the hammering caused it to shift slightly, so this helped to guide as I held it in place. If you use an electric nail gun, I imagine this wouldn't be that much of an issue. Not to mention, you'll get this entire project done a lot faster. Once all of the verticals were in, we measured for each of the 4 horizontal boards individually, just to make sure we got precise cuts. We finished up by filling the nails, gaps, and any imperfections in the wood with spackle, some light sanding, and another coat of paint on the entire wall. We forgot to record that part. Sorry guys. And voila! I love the way this looks in the space, and I hope it inspires you to give this a try. There are so many different styles of board and batten you can do, not only horizontal and vertical, but diagonal too. This is a great project to really put your personal touch into the layout and design. Make this your next DIY home project and let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear. If you missed part 1 of this bedroom makeover, check it out here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll be uploading a video every Friday. Next week is the reveal of this bedroom makeover, and I can't wait for you to see how it all comes together. Thanks for watching.